You know, I've even got like the soundtrack on my phone, which is sad. I'm even thinking about getting a Blues Brothers tattoo, which is mental. I even named my cat after them. Like, I'm just mental. It's really sad for someone who is so funny and so clever in the way that they change things to have all that internal struggle. Like we've mentioned on a pod previously, to like not be able to speak to someone and to sort it out. Do you think he maybe built up such a character that he felt he couldn't speak to anyone? I would happily go to a Bryan Adams concert or a Rod Stewart concert over any modern day artist.
Yeah, like who wants to go to a stadium and being told to shut up? But what I care about is the double standard. If you're going to be an ambassador to a group of people, then don't advertise that offensive word.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't dare dream of saying it. So why should he? And we're back again.
Again.
I've got to stop starting the intro with a catchphrase from Arsenal Fan TV. I think we need
It's alright, it's fine.
We are the Chat's All About It podcast.
So, okay, what shall we do in future?
Yeah, in future, just have our own catchphrase.
Which is going to be what? I'm putting you on the spot.
Being lucky.
Well, no, because that's your outro.
No, my outro is be lucky.
No, it's too repetitive.
And now I'm like, oh, being lucky.
No, that is awful.
Oh.
It's not happening.
Okay.
Start again.
Today we are talking about a few things. I'm actually just going to start straight away. For some reason, I don't know why.
Go on.
I have downloaded a game on my phone. I've never ever been interested in this ever before in my life. Pokemon Go.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my coat because you're a loser.
I don't understand how something like that. I've never collected the cards or anything like that. I've downloaded the app and I just love it.
Like I downloaded Pokemon Go when it first came out.
And binned it.
And within 10 minutes I was like, well, this is a piece of shit. And then deleted it and not been about it. Like there's a Harry Potter one that came out which is similar and that was crap as well. Like
Yeah, I've been playing the Harry Potter one as well.
that's crap.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
Maybe it's just a fad. Anyway, that was just to warm you guys up.
Just so
I'm
I
now
don't
going
loser.
to reload the bullet
Oh,
in the
my,
gun of
this
conversation.
bloody bullet and the gun. Where'd you keep it? God.
Anyway, we're going to talk about our favourite films and why. So, Samuel, seeing as you're so keen, which one is it? Prison of Azkaban or Philosopher's Stone? Or
No.
which one is it?
Harry Potter's my favourite film series.
Potter!
Wow.
Is that not good?
Do it again?
No.
No, it's my favourite film series. My favourite film, or it's goes between the two, it's basically the same thing, is actually, you're probably not going to know what it is, The Blues Brothers. Do you know what that is?
I haven't seen it, no.
You haven't seen it?
No.
The reason The Blues Brothers is my favourite film, will probably always be my favourite film, is because the music that I was kind of brought up on, as a young boy, was what?
Talking about boys again, Sam.
Well, I just had to get it in there
Alright.
because you hate it anyway. The music I kind of was brought up on, or the kind of music I was interested in when I was younger, was like James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett, like old school like R&B, rhythm and blues basically, and just love it, mate. They're all in the film as well. So like James Brown was in both films, Aretha Franklin was in both films. Fortunately, they're now no longer with us, but you know, it's I don't know. I'm not really one for like musicals or anything like that, but there's just some jazzy numbers in there, mate, which I'm a big fan of. You know, I've even got like the soundtrack on my phone, which is sad. I'm even thinking about getting a Blues Brothers tattoo, which is mental. I even named my cat after them. Like, I'm just mental. Like,
So many evens.
yeah, I mean,
So many.
basically,
I'm even, get
Like-
our cats!
like,
after him!
like, all I want to say is, I'm a big fan of the film.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I couldn't have guessed.
yeah. What about you, mate?
Well, so favourite sort of like film series first? Do you want that one?
Go on, as you whacked Harry Potter out, mate. You know.
What, Harry Potter. You know what? I've always been quite interested in Star Wars. I've liked Star Wars. Yeah, all right. all right. Well,
Fuck it now.
I feel like only because it was not the new Disney ones, but I like the originals.
I think that there is actually like the way I just reacted to Star Wars is how a lot of people would react to Star Trek or Harry Potter or something like that, because it is like it sounds a bit nerdy.
Yeah, well, it is.
But do you know what I mean? Like, but it's.
I did like Harry Potter, to be fair. So yeah, I mean, favorite film. I've always been really gravitated towards like true stories,
Yeah.
and also quite strangely like gangster films.
Okay.
As a young boy,
Young man.
I
Right, we need to stop it now.
when I was about 14, 15, I came across Scarface. Came across Goodfellas, Godfather, Casino. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're like gangster
I've
films.
never seen any of them, and they're like some of them are like apparently some of the best films of all time,
Yeah.
and I've never seen them.
I was the type of person though to like have a DVD and just rinse it and play it again and again and again. I used to love watching films. I felt like with gangster films, it was almost like there was a lot of double meanings with what was going on. So I always found that very interesting to sort of like see like why he did this and why this happened, and you know it was also and all. For example, in Goodfellas is, I would say, is my favourite film because of the dynamic in each character. I really enjoyed the characters in that film, like how they have different tendencies, different traits, different pros and different cons for themselves, and I just found the story as a whole quite interesting. So yeah, Goodfellas.
Is your favourite?
Yeah, not the pizza, the film.
Wow. So what would you say? What would you say is the best film of all time?
Well, I hear a lot of people say Shawshank Redemption. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the whole thing, so I can't really comment.
It's good. It is good.
Is it the best film ever made?
It's up there. No, it is good because of the acting and the story. And also it's quite interesting to see sort of like they are basically depicting the reality of people that have been in prison for the majority of their lives. You know, they get released in their 80s or 70s and they just don't know how to basically work.
I mean, I've got one in mind. I'm not saying I think it is the best, but when I raised this topic to you, it was one of the first films that jumped out to me. And it's just because it did win a lot of awards, and I think the acting in it was fantastic. Forrest Gump, I've got to say, is up there.
Tom Hanks is definitely my favourite actor, for sure. He's unreal.
He's one of the best actors ever.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, what do you think that's a ridiculous suggestion?
No, because similar to, I feel, Robin Williams finally sort of showed the world.
Yeah.
He's not just, like, for example, this might offend some people, but Dwayne Johnson, he's the most popular actor.
He plays The Rock.
He plays the same role
in every film.
Every film.
No, I agree.
And I just feel like someone like Tom Hanks, he could play. He's so agile. He can play something extremely serious. He can be the bad guy. He can be the good guy that you love. Mm-hmm. He can make you cry of laughter or tears of sadness. And I really feel like in Forrest Gump, he turned this basically dumb character into a really lovable, relatable, likeable person.
Look at what he did, like what that character did, considering he wasn't able to walk and then he goes to the army.
Yeah.
Like, and then he runs however far it is. Like, it's just, it's quite...
It's a bit of a mental story.
It's mental, and I'd say, like, for some people, probably even quite an inspiring story. So...
That's what it's all about, though, like, with films. Like, I feel like a film that leaves an impression on you is one that you're going to remember and like.
Yeah.
And, you know, as geeky as it sounds, films like Harry Potter or Star Wars, they're giving you this sort of faith, right? It's a complete made-up thing, but it's giving you that belief and it gives you that happiness that you can believe in something. You can escape from whatever situation you're in, you know, good or bad, and live in this world and sort of enjoy that. You know, I mean, essentially what it is escapism. You're escaping the world you're in and enjoying that sort of, I guess, it is fantasy, I guess.
Well, but like, I think it's the sort of thing as well. Like, okay, Star Wars never been my thing, but Harry Potter is probably something I will always like. And I actually only started liking it, say, like 5 or 6 years ago. Like, I saw, for some reason, I saw the first 2 films, and then I skipped all the way. didn't see any more. Saw the last film with my sister in a cinema. And I was like, this is fucking great. Like, this is unreal. And I just started watching all of them
No,
again.
don't get me wrong. I remember being a kid and going to watch Philosopher's Stone, the first Harry Potter film, and just being blown away. Like, I remember it so well. Like, they gave you a PC game with it was amazing. They gave you a PC game.
That's the game I was scared of.
A disc with you were scared.
I was scared of the game, mate.
Pathetic.
No, it is. It's awful.
So put the. I used to play that PC game, and I just thought, like, looking back, it's like that's actually mad to think. As a kid, you got that much for free. You got the film and the game.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with the whole actual visuals of that film. It's quite good.
Well, so another genre of film I quite like. I mean, you very briefly touched on it. Is a biopic, and one that recently came out. Last year, maybe, which I think we both said we really enjoyed, was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, no.
I thought that was such a fantastic film.
I actually feel like that actor who plays,
Rami Malek, I think his name is.
Yeah, Rami Malek, but he plays the
Freddie Mercury.
I don't know why.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
How dare you?
I actually feel like he was born to play that role. It was amazing to watch.
It actually, obviously, you're watching a film, but you generally, I think, for a moment, feel like that's Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, he's definitely got some great moments in it, and they also used a singer who basically impersonates him, and it is dead on. He can impersonate
it's outrageous.
his voice.
It is absolutely mental, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I watched so many films at that age, like 14, 15, 16. I had access to get a DVD, watch it, get another one, watch it. So I don't get me wrong, I watched a lot of rubbish films, but I watched
We've all been
really
there.
good ones. Like, for example, Saving Private Ryan was a big
I've
favourite
not
of
seen
mine.
it.
Yeah, well, no, Saving Private Ryan is Tom Hanks, Matt Damon.
It's like a really young Matt Damon, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a younger Matt Damon, yeah. I mean, personally for me, like, World War II, I had a lot of family members serving there. I had 8 family members serve in the Second World War. So I guess naturally you're going to feel a bit interested towards that event.
Yeah, of course.
And again, Tom Hanks can't go wrong.
I think, yeah, I mean, so who would you say he's the greatest actor?
He's the greatest male actor, for
Do you
sure.
think?
Yeah, no, in our lifetime, definitely.
Because I would have said, like you touched on it, I would have said Tom Hanks or Robin Williams. Robin Williams, I think, I know he had a lot of internal struggles, which obviously ultimately is why he ended his life. But he was like, he could do so much.
He actually brought laughter in a different way though. Like he was absurdly hilarious. Like he was so funny and so good at then switching it to a completely serious role. I was a big fan of him growing up. Like he was in Hook. Did you watch Hook?
I saw Hook
As a kid. Oh, I loved that. That was
there was so many films, and I just think, like, for someone who is so it's really sad for someone who is so funny and so clever in the way that they change things, to have all that internal struggle. Like we've mentioned on a pod previously, to like not be able to speak to someone and to sort it out. Do you think he maybe built up such a character that he felt he couldn't speak to anyone?
From what he was actually saying, it sounded like he surrounded himself with the wrong people. That's essentially what.
He was actually friends with one of the actors from the Blues Brothers who overdosed. And he died from it, and he said that it took him maybe 5 or 10 years to get over that, because I think he was the one who was encouraging him to like take the drugs and things like that. And it was like, fuck, one of my friends, or my best friend, has just died, and I don't think he got over that. So, you know, it is crazy. And like, I don't know, if you were in that situation where you're like this superstar, do you think you could handle all of the fame and all the attention?
I don't envy it. I really do not envy it. I mean, when you think like the small things in life, like just walking to the supermarket, buying really nice food, like or just getting food for a meal, like I feel like that. But obviously, it has its perks. Obviously, I'm not saying it's all bad, but I don't envy that side of it for sure. Like being hassled all the time. I mean, I know this is going a bit slightly off topic, but Monday, as I was walking back home, I was walking to the tube, I saw a really nice Rolls Royce.
Mm.
I thought this is a bit flashy, but then I thought actually central London is pretty much the usual. So
Yeah.
then I saw the guy. There was someone sitting in the back and he had this huge laptop, and I'm thinking that's like double flash, like in in the back of your Rolls on your laptop, parked up, just chilling.
But some people like to show off, mate.
Yeah, and I thought, who is this guy? Had a look. He's Rod Stewart.
Shut
sitting
up.
there. Yeah, I'm not joking.
No way.
He's Rod Stewart sitting there, and Rod Stewart is like, I mean, he was played so much in my household, like.
Yeah, to be fair, my family are big fans. Probably still are big fans.
Yeah. So you know, it's stuff like that where I feel like I'm not the type of person to do it, but I'm sure there'd be many people that would really hassle him then and there. He's on his laptop, whatever he's doing. And then someone just like knocking on his car door, like, "Oh, can I get a
But then
present?"
it's the sort of thing, because you're in the public eye. Like Rod Stewart, I don't know how long he's been around for. He's been around for a very long time. But if you're in the public eye, like, you probably think to yourself, I really can't be arsed with these people at my window. But then you like put the window down. It's like, hi everyone. Like you've got to put on a facade or something.
Yeah. Well, he's mental live, by the way. I watched him live. He's so good. Like. I'll be completely honest with you. I thought he'd be awful before going. I thought he's not going to sound the same, and it's just not going to be good. He smashed it. It was so good.
Well, I actually think like artists such as we mentioned in previous, but obviously you can't see your favourite artist. You saw her in a hologram concert. Saw Whitney, but I think like older artists, like my favourite artist Bryan Adams, I think him live in comparison to someone like Stormzy, like I don't rate Stormzy.
It is very disappointing when you make the comparisons with, for example, you've got. I'm a big fan of Luther Vandross.
Cheap bit of Luther.
I mean, the only comparison you've got in this current day is John Legend.
That's not even a comparison.
It's not. No, it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. John Legend's all right.
He's very talented, but
you know, there's levels, isn't there? No, Luther is my man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing.
Never too much. That's
the second part you've done that. It's just not on. But that I think like I would happily go to a Bryan Adams concert or a Rod Stewart concert over any modern day artist.
Yeah, like who wants to go to a stadium and being told to shut up? Realistically.
We're back on the shut up.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I can't deal with that. But no, I don't know. I think maybe like when we were growing up in terms of like films and music as well. I think we had it quite good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, when you look at Harry Potter, and even the last three films of Star Wars were in that noughties as well. So, I think Disney have just basically ran over it now. But it's what happens, isn't it? People...
I mean, like I'm not a fan of Star Wars. As I said, so I think I've seen one, and it was the one that had Jar Jar Binks in it, and I was
you haven't really watched a lot of films, have you?
You think I would have, having studied media studies, but no, it's like I'm very like I like what I like. Like I can watch the same films over and over, but like I think the most recent film I saw in cinema was probably Bohemian Rhapsody, and that came out. Obviously, we can't go to the cinema now, but that was over a year ago.
No, I mean I'm looking forward to the James Bond film, but we're still getting delays on that.
Again, I'm not really a massive James Bond fan. Like it's just I would
say James Bond's up there with Star Wars for me anyway. For me, yeah.
I'd say it's probably. I mean, like, I haven't watched it, but because of the hype of it,
it's probably watched it.
Well, of course I haven't, but it's definitely up there with the best franchise of all time. I'd say. Like I haven't watched it. Like, I had like James Bond games and stuff when I was younger. Not a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Just got James in his suit shooting up people, but but yeah, like I haven't really watched that, so I can't really give an opinion.
Well, it's not Bond; it's actually James Bond. But, yeah.
Right. Anyway, I mean something I do
James,
prefer.
Sorry, it's Bond. James.
Get it right. Something I actually much prefer than going to see a film or watching a film is a stand-up comedian. I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. Don't know if you've seen any good stand-ups.
Yeah, no, I have been to a few, and I usually get hassled because I have bright ginger hair.
Yeah, I mean you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Oh, good on them.
Who have you seen?
I wouldn't say I've seen actually anyone majorly famous, but I've seen a lot of sort of like comics, and yeah, no, I've enjoyed a good like evening of stand-up comedy.
And I just think there's something about stand-up comedy with the wit that they have to have, like the fast comebacks. Like they probably use the same comebacks every single night against people, but it's just like the quick wit to even think of it. Like I saw Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr, I think, is one of the cleverest comedians going. He actually he was having, I'd say, banter with someone in the crowd, and she was like screaming, "I love you, Jimmy," and all this, and he was like, "Someone's got to take her to the psycho ward," or something like that. And then she was like, "Will you have sex with me, Jimmy?" or something like that. And then he actually the show was like stopped, and it was like, "Get her out of here." And then she got pulled out. I thought it was quite funny. But no, like stand-up comedy, I think is something where there isn't everyone has a different understanding of what's funny. I'd say I like quite dark humour, quite silly humour, where some people might find the things I funny disgraceful or not funny at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think what the point we're both trying to get across here is that we are sort of I would say I am personally concerned with the direction that we're going at. We're constantly trying to walk around the minority of people that are offended by whatever it is. So, we can't release this episode because, we make a joke about this and it's offensive and...
Well, people choose what they're offended by.
Exactly, and I'm sort of fed up with it, living in this society of, being afraid to upset people. You're always going to upset people, no matter what industry you're in. You're always going to upset someone or offend someone, and that is just how... That is literally just humanity. I'm sorry, that literally is.
No, I can't disagree.
And the more we can get people like Stormzy off the mainstream media,
as soon as we can get him to shut up.
I just don't like him. No, I haven't. I really didn't really want to mention this on the pod, but I'm going to. No,
here we go. There's a rant.
I'm going to. No. It's not on that. He feels like he's obliged to stand up and go, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to fight racism." Right? I'm going to donate £1 million a year towards an organisation to help with the black people that might not be able to afford college. I'm not going to say one bad thing about that. Well done. But don't then start going on your songs and saying the N-word left, right and centre.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
It's like a double standard.
It's nonsense. Really. You can't start fighting something that you're clearly advertising people to do. People would want to sing your songs that involve that N-word.
Yeah, so he's kind of it's almost in a sense... He's paying that money to cover up what he's done.
I don't care that he's using the N-word. He thinks that's acceptable. But what I care about is the double standard. If you're going to be an ambassador to a group of people, then don't advertise that offensive word.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare dream of saying it. So why should he?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it, and it isn't on. But I think. Maybe it's I don't know, it's difficult to say, but the industry he's in, that particular word does just get floated about like it's nothing.
Yeah, I know, and if anything, there should be someone that even in the UK, someone in the UK just goes, you know what,
shut up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you literally use your own song.
But it won't happen, mate. It won't happen.
Anyway, yeah,
Rant over. You alright? You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Jack does go through these spells. Even when we're not on the pod, we'll just have a normal conversation. But I'm not happy with that. I'm having absolutely none of it, and this is why. And he's like, okay now. Just goes on a bit of a rant.
No, I don't like Stormzy.
He needs to shut up.
No, enough of the sharp jokes.
Bring the B does.
We're going to move on from this. We're going to talk about now. We have talked about our favourite TV series in the past, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, and that is another sort of subject where we're still living in the past in a way, because it's like I'm only Fools and Horses.
I'm only Fools and Horses.
And you're only Fools and Horses. So it's sort of like, does that say a lot for our current society where we've got really nothing that competes against that?
I just think I don't know. You have to put it down to what we've been brought up on, because ultimately we've been brought up on that sort of comedy, that sort of culture. And at the end of the day, like I said, we like what we like. If there's nothing new that's come out and we don't like
then
it,
it's not
of
gonna
course,
work.
of course, we're going to go back to what we feel comfortable watching, and you will find it funny. Even if like things like Only Fools, I can probably recite the episodes to you, and I
Yeah.
still find it funny
Mm.
because it's just the delivery.
Yeah.
Whereas the delivery in modern day stuff doesn't necessarily appeal to me. So I'm going to go back to what I feel comfortable.
All right. Well, this podcast has been very informative. I know it's been a bit serious, but I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about like what we like, what sort of like films we're into.
It's an opportunity, I think, for you guys to maybe get to know a bit more about us, and rather than us just telling you our stupid stories that we've got up to, just maybe more about our hobbies and our interests. So our audience actually knows who they're listening to.
Please make sure you leave a comment on what your favourite film is and why.
Very good. I like that.
Very good. Thank you for watching or listening.
Or listen. Important to get the listeners in as well.
Yes, of course. Please leave a review on iTunes, and be lucky.
We'll see you when you're older.
Do that again. Do that again. Go on.
We'll see you when you're older. You're going to zoom in like an arsehole.